Hello everybody, Don't Blink here again with another Battlefield 3 beta gameplay commentary for you guys. Today I'm playing Rush Attack on Operation Metro and I'm using the Recon class. My primary is the PP2000. On it I have the holographic sight, laser sight, and flash suppressor. The laser sight increases your gun's accuracy when fired from the hip, and the flash suppressor hides your muzzle flash. A dual purpose of the laser sight actually is that you can blind your enemies if you aim it right at them, which can really come in handy and makes it difficult for them to keep a bead on you. Additionally, I have the MP443 Tactical as my sidearm. It's called the tactical version because it has a tactical flashlight attached, which is even more blinding than the laser sight at close quarters and can completely turn your enemies and teammates, mind you, screens white. You can totally blind them, and it makes it nearly impossible to shoot someone who's aiming at you with a flashlight at close quarters. In fact, I think it might be a little bit too powerful because sometimes it's just ridiculous how blind I become when I have an enemy or teammate looking at me with a flashlight attached. So, by the way, if you have a flashlight on your weapon and you're aiming at a teammate, turn it off. Because it's not helpful at all and can really ruin someone's day, and hopefully it won't become a way for people to grief others because it's very, very annoying. But we blew through that first base. We're moving on to the second base, but first I want to make sure that we don't have any lingering defenders hiding in our deployment. So I'm just cleaning up these fools really quickly. Get this recon who is prone like a boss. Unlock the tactical light. Alright, so the rest of my kit. I have the motion sensor as my gadget, I guess you could call it. It is a stationary motion sensor that you can place anywhere on the ground. You can even place it on waist-high objects and stuff. And to be honest, I haven't really found a good use for it yet. And right here, this is where the flashlight does not come in handy. There's a defender down in that tunnel. He has his flashlight on, and he gives himself away and ruins his camping spot. He probably would have picked up a couple kills if he hadn't had that turned on. But instead, he gets taken out, and we get access to this side tunnel, which is very useful. But I also have the radio beacon, and the radio beacon, as opposed to the motion sensor, is much more useful. I think you'll see throughout the course of this video how useful the radio beacon really is. It is incredible how helpful it is and how much it changes this game. Basically what it does is it is an object which you can place anywhere in the map, on the ground that is, and it acts as a custom spawn point. In certain modes and maps, you actually parachute in down upon the radio beacon as long as the radio beacon is placed outside. But in rush mode, at least on this map, you just spawn straight on it, which is preferable in my opinion. And right here, I was really trying to move up further so that I could place my radio beacon, but I end up getting taken out by an enemy, and I have to spawn a little bit further back than I otherwise would have. And I don't know what this guy's trying to do. He should have seen me, but I'm able to pick up his weapon and just continue on my merry little way. Unlock the SKS. I still need to use that gun. It's a battle rifle. I'm looking forward to trying that out. But here, I actually make it into this room, and I'm able to place my radio beacon. And that enemy takes me out, but neglects to destroy my radio beacon, so we end up spawning on it quite a few times on this base. It seems as though the radio beacons last for an entire base in rush mode currently. I don't think that's how it's intended, but it means that the radio beacon is incredibly powerful as a tool, and you can just place it and forget it, and it just continues to reward you for using it. And you'll see further on, I get some really good spots with it. It becomes very, very effective. But we're trying really hard to move up on this Bravo crate. End up getting suppressed, so I lie down for a while, heal up. I'm using the flak specialization in this match, and that reduces the amount of damage you take from explosives, but there's also one called cover that reduces the amount that you're suppressed. And suppression is very, very intense in the beta. It wasn't as effective in alpha, in my opinion. It was noticeable, but it didn't really prevent you from aiming and shooting and doing well. But the suppression mechanic and effect in the beta is much more intense, and I honestly believe that it does make it more difficult to do well and to get things done. So if you're being suppressed, back up, take cover, and you know, just wait until it goes away, because it can really screw you up. And right there you can see that the pistols in Battlefield 3 are not really useful as primary weapons. I mean, obviously they are secondaries, but what I mean by that is you can't really go around once you've run out of ammo on your primary and use your pistol and be very effective. You really should seek out a support character and get your ammo replenished on your primary, because the pistols don't really do much damage. They're very useful for cleaning up enemies that you've damaged heavily using your primary, but you can't really rely on them. So I get alpha armed, and then I go and I post up here, waiting for enemies to come by. This is a pretty good spot, both as an attacker on this side and as a defender on the other side. If you're playing as a defender and the attackers start to really push up on this alpha crate, standing behind this piece of cover right here can be very, very helpful, and you can take out a lot of attackers this way. But as an attacker, once you've got that crate armed, this spot also comes in handy. As you can see right there, we get the crate destroyed, and we begin to move up. For some reason, after this base, my radio beacon doesn't replenish, so I'm not able to place a spawn point in just a little bit here. You'll see I try and change to it, and I'm not able to accomplish what I want to accomplish. The third base ends up proving very, very troublesome for us this match. The second and third bases during the alpha were always the bases that defeated attackers, basically, because they're very, very difficult to take. Thankfully, DICE listened to our feedback quite a bit, and they changed a lot of the bases around, added more cover, made it a little bit easier for the attackers to get close to the objectives. But I still believe that it's a little bit too difficult for attackers. They actually increased the ticket count to 100 tickets per base, and I think that's because they realized that their map design was just too difficult for attackers to make their way through. I don't know what that support character was trying to accomplish there, but he didn't really do his job, and I'm able to arm that alpha crate. Unfortunately, I was expecting the defenders to come from their deployment and not from the other direction, and I end up getting taken out, and they disarm the charge. So this is where things start to get really hairy. They have that far right tunnel or hallway to Bravo locked down, and Alpha is kind of out in the open. So we're all just kind of taking cover, trying to push up, but being cautious, and every time we try and make a move, we end up just getting absolutely slaughtered. Thankfully, this cover has been placed here, and it's very, very useful unless there's an enemy behind you. So I end up grenading this guy, get a hit marker, and my teammates end up taking him out. But that was a good spot for him to take, let me tell you. Very, very effective. If there weren't kill cams, wouldn't have realized he was there, and I am very happy about the inclusion of kill cams. I think it's definitely a good choice. Obviously, there's going to be hardcore mode, and I'm guessing it's not going to have kill cams for those of you who don't like kill cams. But the kill cams in Battlefield 3 are very zoomed in, and as a result, if you're not familiar with the map, or if they're in a really good spot, you're not going to be able to tell where they are. And even if they aren't in a good spot, if they're in an area that looks like a lot of other areas, it's not going to be that helpful. So the kill cams are helpful, but I don't think they're so helpful that they make it impossible for people to post up and get into a good position and hold that position. But I do think it's a good tool to counteract people who just get into really cheap spots that are nowhere near any of the objectives and aren't helpful to anyone but themselves. And I think they're really good at allowing people to make sure that they're still having fun when they're playing the game and they're not getting killed by people who are just in the most random spot imaginable. But that's my outlook on the matter. Let me know in the comments. What do you guys think of the kill cams? Do you want them in? Do you want them out? On PC at least, there will be a server option. You'll be able to play, you know, core mode, but turn off kill cams, and play core mode and turn on friendly fire. I've actually played on a few friendly fire servers, and they they almost never end well, in my opinion. People just get slaughtered by their own teammates, which is not good, obviously. This game is very frantic. It's very hectic and frenetic. And as a result, you know, keeping track of who's who, who's friendly, who's foe. I don't know what that guy was doing. He was like turtle walking there. But keeping track of who's friendly and who's foe can be very difficult in the midst of some of this game's crazier firefights. So I like having friendly fire off. Again, let me know in the comments. What's your take on friendly fire, kill cams, core mode versus hardcore mode? It's all going to be in the game. It's all going to be available, and it's going to be able to be toggled. And I think this game is really going to offer something for everyone. I mean, you can take a sniper rifle and unequip the scope and use it as a mid-range rifle, and they're very effective that way. You can also put on a 12 times scope for long-range encounters and go for marksman headshots. I don't recommend that on attack, but on defense, go ahead, use that. It's very, very effective. It can prevent attackers from moving up, and I actually really like the sniping in this game because it feels like actual sniping. You can hold your breath, you can steady your aim, you have to account for bullet drop and travel time. If you put a suppressor on your sniper rifle, then it completely changes the speed of the rounds that you're firing and makes it so you have to account for even more travel time and even more bullet drop. And the attachment system in particular, I think, is the key to DICE's push to allow people to play the game the way they want to play the game. And I think that they've done a great job of that. I mean, you can take this PP2000, take off the flash suppressor, put on a suppressor, take off the holographic sight, put on an ACOG. You can switch the laser sight for a tactical flashlight. I mean, the options are endless. But anyway, that's enough of me just praising this game needlessly. I'm sure a lot of you guys have played it yourselves by now and are having a lot of fun. So I put the motion sensor right there. That's what it looks like. It's kind of funny looking. And I put a radio beacon earlier so that I have a forward spawn point. And then I start to run out of ammo of all my stuff. And I just make some foolish mistakes. I end up picking up an enemy's kit, and I just I just blow it. But I got alpha armed. It ends up getting destroyed right there, as you can see. Got an enemy down these stairs. I throw a grenade and end up getting taken out, but I did take a defender with me. And people are just so oblivious when it comes to those radio beacons. I'm interested to see what's going to happen when people catch on to what they look like, what they sound like. They actually make a frequent beeping noise. So you can tell that one is near just by the sound. But I'm interested to see what changes will be made to those, whether they'll be nerfed or buffed or left as they are, and what's going to happen when people start to catch on to just how important and useful they are for attackers in particular. But that's it. The Bravo crate goes down. We win the match, and I believe I went 35-12. So I hope you guys enjoyed this match and this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and let me know what else you want to see regarding Battlefield 3. Anyway, that's it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will talk to you all later. Bye.